The Panthers were this close Sunday. Maybe more like this close. I'm sorry, Panthers fans, but here's the good news. Frank Reich is in the same conversation as Sean Payton and Bill Belichick for the worst team in the league. We've got more playoff hockey. Welcome back to the Canes exclusive post-game live show. Canes win 4-3 in the final minutes on Brady Shea's power play goal. Let's waste no time. We're going live to PNC Arena for more analysis from Casey Hintz and former Cane Shane Willis. That's right, Gerald. The team says they've got a consensus. The media has their consensus. So the question is, are those two the same player? If the draft was a horse race, this has been a very interesting final stretch. Let's take a look at the prospects. Thanks, Chris. And Sebastian Aho, 10 points in the playoffs, but he gets the first goal of the series tonight, Julian. And that's the key, right? Because I think the Canes have been the better team for most of this series. It's just those key moments and those key mistakes that the Rangers have cashed in on every single time. How about this guest list? We've got George Kittle here in the background, Kyle Juszczyk and his wife, and there's Greg Olsen looking like he's back at the University of Miami in that picture. Welcome into Sports Extra. I'm Pat Welter, and that 3-0 start feels like it never happened. You can only change the quarterback so many times before you change the head coach. Cam Newton making his fifth start hosting the Buccaneers. And Sam Darnold was back off IR. Now, he cracked his scapula in his throwing shoulder week 10. It sounds like it hurts. First quarter, Tampa dealing with plenty injuries of their own, but you would never know it. This is Keyshawn Vaughn. Who? This is one of those games when you take whatever you wrote or said at halftime and you erase it, throw it out the window. Football is the best game in America. This is why you watch. This was a game tonight between NC State and Virginia Tech, where in the first half you had fans booing, you had people in the press box complaining about the offense, and now it looks like NC State might have just found their quarterback of the future. Let's get to a wild highlight here from Carter Finley Stadium. I just had to say those words out loud just to hear them, because I cannot believe it, Casey, from where we were just a few weeks ago when NC State lost their final 4 games of regular season. This team was cooked. So tough to be away from the family on the holiday, but I just had 2 weeks off with this guy. Austin James Welter, born June 17th. I'll tell you what, I'm really starting to fill out a baseball team here. In fact, we played a game today, celebrating the 4th this morning with Team Emma versus Team Johnny. Nice cut there from the big guy. And Austin in the hole with manager Mommy. She's got all 3 kids tonight for the first time. Pray for her. Here's Johnny with a single in the first. Safe at first. But gets greedy. Goes for the steal. Emma makes the tag. Johnny not happy. Protests the call. He'd stay in the game. Emma up in the bottom half. Shot to opposite field. She's thinking 3. She's thinking home. Old school inside the Parker. 3-2 Team Johnny. Daddy in the pinch hit. 1 pitch, 1 swing, broken bat home run. Take another look. Oh, man, tears were shed. The game postponed due to equipment malfunction. 3-3 in the second. And you can watch the Durham Bulls tonight, who are streaming on WRAL Plus over the air channel 34, Spectrum 1257.
You have a beautiful family. Keep having more babies.
Austin, we adore you, and Emma.
And 9 for a baseball team, so. Honey, how do you feel about that?
Have a good night.
Happy 4th.
Now, sponsored by Heister Automotive.
I don't know if you know this at all, but I know it's something about numbers and stats and stuff like that in my head.
That press conference is the Mona Lisa. Find another gem every time. You want some numbers, Dave? I've got some numbers, Dave. The Panthers, 30-65 since you bought the team. You fired 3 coaches. And every Panthers fan out there wishes you could fire yourself. Panthers taking on the Saints. Young hasn't been great, but hard to imagine a worse situation for the rookie. First quarter, let's show, not tell. Bryce Young enveloped by the Saints defense. Now, he's been criticized for his footwork. Footwork wasn't saving him there. Rule to fumble, Saints recover. Second quarter, Saints finally get on the board. It's Alvin Kamara, big NASCAR guy. He pulled up to the game today in a pace car. 7-0 Saints. Young, 1 of 8 passing to start, but ran the ball well, albeit a scramble. First down here sets up a field goal. It's 7-3. They take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Cue the Looney Tunes music. Johnny Hecker's punt blocked. Not what you want when your head coach is the special teams coordinator. Panthers, however, somehow still in this. Miles Sanders with his best run of the year, 48 yards all the way down to the 1, and they really needed him to finish because Young was sacked. Leads to another field goal. One-score game into the 4th, but you know what? This one never really felt close. Chris Olave puts it away. Saints win 28-6.
And we need to figure out how to win. And that's what we got to get done.
Young just 137 yards passing. He did actually get some time today. Receivers either weren't open or he was hesitating to throw into tight windows. Tabor gave the offensive line credit. 204 yards rushing. Saints only had 207 yards of offense total.
Really, the story of this year was just talking about last year. I feel like this kind of all we heard from y'all and stuff we look back on. I think it was just overdue, long hangover.
That was Armando Bacot after Carolina lost in the ACC tournament last year, effectively ending their season. Now, I hope I'm wrong, but the vibes with the Carolina Hurricanes feel like they're heading in a similar direction. We're all waiting for them to flip the switch and look like last year. But the reality is every season is different, and this is not the same team. Carolina lost 4-3 last night to Vancouver, their 4th straight. Rod Brindamore hasn't pulled any punches with the media this season. Last night he said they gifted them 2 goals. Other recent comments have been even more damning.
We got a lot of guys that aren't pulling the weight. It's plain and simple. So you can read into it what you want, but we're not going to win if we don't have the 20 guys going. We have some guys working hard every night, contributing, doing what they do, but there's a lot of others that need to look in the mirror.
Brindamore doesn't call out the team publicly for no reason. He's running out of answers, and the solution has to come from within. Case in point, the team called a players-only meeting last night. UNC had a players-only meeting last season, too. Didn't work. Measuring up to the past every night is a tough way to live. Like the Tar Heels, the Canes entered the season favorites after a trip to hockey's Final Four. Now, we see this with teams that lose the Super Bowl as well. You don't start at the top of the mountain again. You've got to be willing to climb. Now, the Canes have physical reasons why they're losing. Freddie Anderson's been out with a medical condition. The goaltending has been subpar. They lack superstar skill, and when the whole team isn't bought into Brindamore's system, you start to see the cracks. Now, in college basketball, you can't change your team midseason. But in the NHL, you can still make a trade. This is a turning point. Let's just hope it isn't too late. Women's college basketball, UNC versus number 17 UConn, Hall of Fame classic at Mohegan Sun. UNC getting balanced scoring, all 5 starters in double figures. Maria Gacting led them all. It's a tie game at the half. UNC in this one, but in the 3rd quarter, Paige Beckers takes over. Before Caitlin Clark, she was the big deal in women's basketball. 1,000th career point right there, but she missed all of last season with a torn ACL. Minute later, Beckers gets the steal. Finish at the other end. She had 24 points. UConn pulls away 76-64. Now, pouring rain in Raleigh, there was a leak in Reynolds Coliseum. Game delayed 20 minutes in the 4th. Wes Moore was staying cozy in that holiday sweater there. Wolfpack didn't score the first 3 minutes of the quarter. Madison Hayes ends the drought. She had 18 as State stays perfect, 80-67. Reagan Richardson and the Duke women hosting Florida Gulf Coast. Duke coming off a pair of tough losses to Clemson and South Carolina, but Richardson making it look easy. Smooth finish. Carol Lawson had to like that. Another big game for Taina Mayer. Real confident in the 3 here. Game high 24. Duke wins 82-63. All right, so big day in sports, Julian. Canes, still time to turn it around. The Panthers, no.
Yeah, you know, with the Panthers, I think, well, you know, they're going to finish bad, right? Really bad. They'll probably have a number 1 pick, maybe 2, 3.
Oh,
they
gave
that
they
pick
traded
away,
those.
right?
They gave those away.
I keep thinking about that, like, wow. Well, continuity. They're playing. Next year's got to be better, right?
They got to start fresh with the staff. They got to get some synergy, Julian. That's the key right now. None of these pieces fit together, whether it's the offensive line with the scheme, the coaches, with the quarterback. Build around Bryce Young. Get him the support he needs. Start from the bottom. Build your way up. No shortcuts.
Okay. What about Coach Moore's sweater? Pretty cool, huh?
Love it. Always got the style, man.
All right.